When I woke up, I wasn't sure if I had ever truly fallen asleep. The oppressive fog was gone, but it had been replaced by this eerie, heavy stillness as if time itself had simply stopped caring. I was lying on cold, damp concrete, the metallic taste of blood or fear coating my tongue. I instinctively reached for my flashlight, but the switch clicked uselessly. It was dead. But the bridge was gone. Where it should have been, a corridor now stretched into an impenetrable darkness. It was breathing, a soft, rhythmic pulse, as if the very air was alive and waiting for me to make the first move. I pushed myself to my feet, my voice trembling as I called out, "Hello!" The sound vanished instantly, swallowed whole by the suffocating silence. There was no echo, no return, just nothing. That's when I saw it again, the light, a faint beam, flickering far down the corridor, moving in a way that felt disturbingly familiar. It moved with my rhythm. It paused when I paused. It even mimicked the slight tilt of my head as I tried to understand what I was seeing. Hesitantly, I took one cautious step forward. The light in the distance did the same. It wasn't following me, it was mirroring me. A cold dread began to creep up my spine. I froze, my feet glued to the floor. And so did the light. Slowly, I lifted my hand, watching in disbelief as the distant figure lifted its own. Then, as the faint beam from its flashlight brushed across its face, my blood turned to ice. The face, staring back, was mine. But it was wrong. Incredibly off. It was like a portrait painted by someone who had only heard a description of me, never truly seen me. The smile was stretched unnaturally wide. The eyes were too still and glassy, and the skin was a pale, waxy white, and that horrifying smile. It never wavered. Then, it broke the pattern. It started walking toward me. It was no longer mirroring my movements. It was moving on its own, closing the distance between us. The air around me began to tremble, and the floor groaned under its steady advance. Behind this thing, shadows on the walls began to twist and writhe, forming impossible shapes that my mind refused to comprehend. Pure instinct took over. I turned and ran. The corridor warped around me, the walls bending and breathing like the insides of some colossal beast. Doors materialized out of thin air where none had been before. One swung open right in front of me. Without a second thought, I dove inside and slammed it shut, plunging myself into absolute darkness. For a moment, all I could hear was the frantic pounding of my own heart echoing in my ears. I thought I had escaped. That's when I saw what was in the room with me. Hundreds of photographs pinned to every inch of the walls. Every single one was of me. Different angles, different clothes, different days. Some were from years ago, pictures I hadn't seen since I was a kid. Others were from just seconds ago, showing me running down that impossible hallway. And beneath every single photo, scrawled in what looked like red ink, was the same phrase. "You're not supposed to exist twice?" My hand went limp, and the dead flashlight I was still clutching slipped from my grasp. It hit the floor with a clatter, and miraculously, its beam flickered back to life for just a split second. The light danced across the wall of photos, and for a horrifying instant, I saw my reflection staring back at me from inside one of the pictures. But this time, it blinked first. Then, the light died for good, and I was left alone in the dark. Thanks for joining me for this story. If you enjoy this kind of unsettling content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tailies from the shadows. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.